Hey, what's going on, everyone? Josh Guerrero here, and this is the All Around Adventure Podcast. Whether you're joining me for the first time or if you've been listening for a while now, I certainly do want to welcome you here. And as always, I want to thank you for being here today, just because I know how important your time is and that, you got a lot going on. There's also a lot out there on the internet these days that's trying to get your attention and distract you, but it just means so much to me that you've chosen to download and listen to this podcast. Now, if you are in fact new to this podcast and you're not entirely sure what we're all about here, this is the show where you hear amazing tales from afar and get the all-important life lessons that go along with them. And that's usually done through an interview show and a solo show that I have called The Blog Readings. But the one that you're listening to right now is a little bit different, and this is your Wisdom Wednesday, which it's exactly how it sounds. Every Wednesday, I just release a short episode, not very long, maybe about 5 minutes, just to give you something to ponder on as you wrap up your week that's going to pertain to personal development, as well as various travel tips here and there. And now in this segment of Wisdom Wednesday, we're going to continue on with our series of the three-legged stool of fitness. Now, last Wednesday, I talked about physical training, and today I'm going to be talking about nutrition. I find that nutrition is actually probably just as important, if not even more important than the actual physical training itself, because this is what's going to give you the fuel that you need to move on forward with your training and with your life. Now, when it comes to nutrition, I could talk for a pretty good while. There is so much out there. There's a lot out there that you could look up. You could look up on the internet about nutrition. There's a lot of different diets out there, a lot of trends. But really, I don't think I need to talk very much about nutrition at all, because quite frankly, when it comes to eating healthy, I would just say about everyone knows how to do it. And you listening right now, you know how to eat healthy. If I were to show you, let's say, an apple in one hand and a candy bar in the other, and I don't have a candy bar with me because I really don't want that in my house right now, you know which one of those two would be the healthy option. If I were to show you, let's say, a grilled chicken breast and a fast food burger, you know which one of those is the healthier option. So it really just boils down to making the conscious decision to choose the healthy foods that you're going to use to fuel your body with. Now, so that's really what it boils down to. It's just really just making the choice. And a lot of times we may not choose to take the healthy option. It could be for maybe a variety of reasons. We may say that, I only had so much time for lunch. And it's also, I just had to go with, the convenient option. That's just pulling through the drive-thru and getting someone to prepare the food for me. So I'm just going to talk about a couple of tips really quick that you can implement to get on the path of, just eating healthy. And one of them I would always say is implementing systems. It does take a little bit of work. It does take a little bit of effort and planning to go with the route of being healthy. And, I personally like to do a lot of meal prep. I'll cook a pretty sizable portion of food towards like the end of the day, have a little bit for dinner, put some of it away in Pyrex and take it with me to the office the next day. So I have something healthy to eat for lunch. And I also get a lot of healthy snacks. And I just showed you an apple. There's lots of different fruits that you can get. And there's also some good, healthy bars that you could also get as well. So thinking about implementing systems so that way you could have, healthy foods readily available to you and just planned out accordingly. And the next thing I'll also suggest, again, I don't want to talk too long today, is to simply eat real food. And a good thing to think about is when you're about to go purchase something, what does the ingredients consist of? If it consists of a very, very long ingredients for something that seems pretty simple, then, that might be a good indication that there's probably a lot in there that you probably don't want to take in. I think a good example would be various nuts that you can buy. Like I typically like to get, just say, like raw macadamia nuts or raw Brazil nuts or something along those lines. But then if you get, let's say, nuts in a can, and then you look on the back and it has like 11 different ingredients where only one of them is actually the nuts themselves, then chances are you're probably taking a lot of chemicals and preservatives that you really don't want to take in. So always opt for just one ingredient. Like I said, I know this is just an apple. That's all it is. There's nothing else to it. It's just an apple. So keep that in mind as you go about doing your grocery shopping, and going back to the idea of implementing systems is that, some people would say that abs are made in the kitchen, but I'd say abs are actually made in the grocery store, because it's ultimately up to you as to what you want to put in your cart to take home. And so that's really all I have to say for now. Just like I said, it's just, how to eat healthy. it just boils down to making the willingness choice to actually go and eat healthy. And then later on down the line, you can explore some of these different things. You can explore, I don't know, the carnivore diet, the paleo diet. There's plant-based diets out there and just so many other things that you can look at as well. And you can really get deep down in the rabbit hole. But I'd say if you're just starting out and you're just kind of looking for just some simple guidelines, maybe these are some things to maybe take in consideration. So again, I'll just kind of recap really quick and then we'll wrap up this segment is implement systems, choose real food, look for like lower ingredients and things like that, more minimally processed food choices, and then see where you can implement more stuff later on in your journey. All right, everyone, that's all I have to say in this segment of Wisdom Wednesday. I hope you found it insightful. Be sure to check back again this Saturday, and I have a brand new episode featuring another fantastic guest that I think you all are really going to enjoy, so be sure to check back in. And let me know what you think of this episode, and let me know of any topics that you'd be interested in hearing me cover. You can connect with me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at All Around Adventure, and I'm on Twitter at All Around Advent. So pretty much All Around Adventure, but without the URE, couldn't quite fit it in the username there. And I just thank you very much for tuning in today, whether that's on the podcast or watching on YouTube. Be sure to hit that subscribe button below if you are watching on YouTube, or hit that subscribe button wherever you might be listening to the podcast, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. I'm pretty much out there on all the major podcasting platforms. And once again, I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today and giving me your time and attention. I greatly appreciate it, and I don't take it for granted. And until next time, I'm Josh Guerrero saying be safe, happy travels, and always move forward.